Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of my video, looking at my collection of World War II posters, which all relate to the National Savings Campaign. As I said in part 1, all of my posters are original wartime posters. I don't collect reproductions. I prefer the authentic feeling of original posters that have been through the war. Generally I only collect wartime posters, but a few produced afterwards, still in 1945, relating to Thanksgiving week, are still relevant to the war, and we'll look at some of those too. Now this is a late war poster. This is WFL 401. We've got great things to do. Keep on saving. This is a 10x15 poster, one of the smaller ones. We're not quite finished the war yet, but we've got great things to do. They're not asking for money for weapons now. They're just asking for money to build up the country after all the devastation. And they've got the children there saying this is their future. Moving along. This is an earlier one, WFL 160. I think this was probably made around the time of War Weapons Week in 1941. It's another 10x15. You've got the white circle in the middle where the groups could put their own messages, come down to the church hall and get involved, this sort of thing. Buy your stamps here. All around, we've got pictures of weapons and their prices, their costs. So this helps people focus their mind on what they're saving for. Bottom right there, we've got a motor torpedo boat for £55,000. Top right, a medium tank for £15,000. And we can see a Bren gun, middle left there, £50 if you don't feel like that your particular group can save up much more than that. Next one along, another 10x15. This is WFL 146. So still an early war one, really. Back them up by saving certificates. This is just a generic one with pictures of British soldiers. This is just to keep the armed forces in people's minds and say they need you to back them up. Buy more stamps, buy more saving certificates and bonds, and save more of your money. We've got Bing Crosby says save now for Blue Skies Ahead. Well, Blue Skies was a film that Bing Crosby made. The poster itself is a wartime poster, but the film was made in 1946. So this poster was used post-war to advertise the movie. And I think what's happened here is probably the cinema manager has got in touch with the local savings committee and said, look, we could probably help each other here. If we use one of your posters to advertise my movie, we can kill two birds with one stone, basically. So that's quite interesting. It is actually a wartime poster. It's just used post-war in 1946. Birmingham into battle, tanks for attack. I'm not going to look at that today. This was not a national savings poster, not made by the National Savings Committee. This was a basically privately printed poster by the Birmingham National Savings Group for their Tanks for Attack savings drive. Down the bottom, we got a couple of Warship Week posters. The one on the left, more ships, come on, war savings of warships. Warship Week took place in 1942. Really striking poster there. On the right, we've got another one for Warship Week. The signal is saved. That was one of the main expressions for Warship Week. The square at the top was blank, and groups put their own messages on there. We can see our Warship Week, January 17th to 24th. Money talks, make it fight. Unfortunately, we haven't got the name of the town or the city that produced this particular poster, but very nice all the same. At the top here, another one which had a blank in the middle for messages from savings groups. Now all this says is savings certificates sold here, and this will be stuck up outside all the selling centres where you could buy these, and all there is just that explosion in the middle from, looks like the ship dropping a sea mine with the message, and any message they wanted to put in, really. Across the top here, there's a poster there from Oxford Warship Week. Again, that's not an official national savings poster, but here we have one. This is a savings street. Your group secretary lives at, and there's that little white triangular area where the house number, I suppose, will be put. This is a Wing for Victory poster. 1943 was Wing for Victory Week. This is another poster with a big blank in the middle for a message. You can see there where the big white explosion is. This poster wasn't used in 1943. As we can see at the top, urgent, 1939, 1945, late war news. Obviously putting those two dates on there, the people knew that the war was going to be over in 1945. This is the message here is there is no savings group in Pitt Street. Will anyone willing to act as secretary leave their name at the savings centre in Market Street? So at this time, they weren't really interested in saving money to buy weapons. They were really looking at rebuilding after the war. And national savings was going on before the war and certainly after the war. So they wanted as many savings groups as they could get, and there wasn't one in Pitt Street. So they were asking for someone to start one up. Similarly, down the bottom here, we've got another one. This one is a Salute the Soldier poster, another 30 by 20 inch. Again, this one had a big blank space in the middle. Salute the Soldier was 1944, but as we can see, urgent 1939, 1945 late war news. Again, this time there's no savings group in Malta Street. Will anyone willing to act as secretary leave their name at the savings centre, Market Street? So we've got Pitt Street and Malta Street, but the same savings centre, Market Street. After a little investigation, I discovered that Pitt Street is in Kensington in London and Malta Street is in Islington in London. And Market Street was in East Ham, London. So these may be two different savings committees, one for Kensington, one for Islington, or they could be the same one, which represents both areas. But either way, they shared the same savings centre in Market Street, East Ham, London. Moving on up here, we've got another 30 by 20 poster. What can I buy? War savings, of course. That's just a plain message, no picture or anything on there, but that sort of message you can see from across the street. It just tells it exactly like it is. Get out there, buy war savings. You can either buy bonds, stamps, or savings certificates, but that's just the straightforward message. Down here, a couple of 10 by 15 posters again. The one on the left, this season's savings gift. You could buy these cards from the National Savings Committee. They were, you could stick stamps in them, savings stamps in them, and you can give them for birthdays, Christmas, christenings, all sorts of things. They even had some that were made up as prizes. So for people who perhaps entered a poster competition, the winner would get a card with some savings stamps in it. That would encourage them to start saving. The one on the right, as we can see, it's another Salute the Soldier poster. This one would have just had Salute the Soldier at the top and the men manning the anti-tank gun at the bottom. In the middle, an empty space for a message. And this time, PB and SM are advertising their opening day pageant for their Salute the Soldier campaign on Saturday, March the 25th, 1944. PB being Potter's Bar and SM being South Mimms. We can easily find out where these places are. As it says there, processions will leave Cranbourne Road and Oakmere Lane. So and the United Abbeydale Gardens. So it's not difficult to find out where these places are. Down at the bottom here, we've got two quite interesting posters. Actually, they're not the normal size posters. They're not 20 by 30. They're not 10 by 15. They're somewhere in between. The one on the left is a very early one. It's WFP4. So it's a fourth poster of the war from the National Savings Committee. Lend to defend the right to be free was the slogan all the way through the war. Buy defence bonds, £5 and upwards from banks and post offices. The one on the right, again, lend, save and lend. And in the middle there, we've got the 2 and 6penny National Savings stamp with the flaming cross, as they called it, in the middle. Buy these stamps through our savings group. This is a bit later. I think this is WFP 97 there. We can see that quite well. WFP 97, issued by National Savings Committee London. Over at the top here, we've got 4 10 by 15 posters. These cover consecutive years. The first one on the left is from Warship Week, 1942. The next, Wings for Victory Week, 43. Then Salute the Soldier Week, 44. And Thanksgiving Week, 1945. There wasn't, as far as I'm aware, any official poster for War Weapons Week in 1941. That was the first week, really, of the war, Savings Week, rather, and I don't really think they got their act together, really, for that one. But over here, take a closer look. The signal is Save. That was the main slogan, really, for Warship Week, although this particular poster doesn't mention Warship Week. Could be really used for any period during the war. Over here, particularly like this poster, you don't see these very often. This is quite often replicated, postcards, other posters and things like key rings. This is a very popular poster. I was very lucky to get hold of this one. This obviously is an original one. Let's Go, Wings for Victory, 1943. The next one along, again, very striking, very famous poster, really, almost an Art Deco look. Salute the Soldier, Save More, Lend More. This was 1944. And here, Thanksgiving Week. Our mightiest effort yet, in red and blue and green. Thanksgiving Week was celebrating the end of the war. So clearly it would have been after the war. But I think this is perfectly okay for a wartime collection. I mean, if it's celebrating the end of the war, that's the war, isn't it? And red, blue and green are the 3 different denomination stamps there. Finally, for this video, we come down to this, again, middle-sized poster, I would call it. Even a mite is a great help in war savings. Not sure if we can see it, but just here it says accepted from a design, adapted from a design, accepted for the National Exhibition of School Posters shown at the Royal Academy, London. As I was saying, there were lots of competitions for designing posters throughout the war, lots of official ones and lots of unofficial ones. And in this case, this particular poster was taken up as being one that they could use nationally, but quite often there were poster competitions in towns and villages where the winning poster was used around the town just to advertise that particular savings week. Okay, well that's the end of this video. Well, thank you for looking at my videos. Part 3 ends my look at official wartime national savings posters. In this one, we look at a number of posters that didn't quite make it onto my walls due to lack of space. Always a problem when you collect posters.